Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we are really having a hard time getting this thing rolling and rocking and rolling. But I think we're here. I think we have made it. I think we have made it to a new level of maturity here. I think we can handle this without chuckling, right, Eli? You're going to make it. All right. Every once in a while, we have a few laughs around this table, which is good because there's a lot of non-laughs around this table. It's a real wild world that we live down here in the jungles. It's so darn wild that it was, 2 or 3 days ago, Jade actually wasn't there, but I got to pack my wife across a river because she couldn't make it home with my truck. And so we had a crazy, crazy flood down here, and it seems like they're doing what they're doing like all over the place, which is they will roll these hurricanes in, saturate the lands, and then they will bring in some massive floods. And then all of a sudden it is wet. So that's us. We are hanging out here in the middle of this very, very wet jungle trying to survive. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Good.
Everyone alive?
Yeah.
All right. So we are looking at, before you begin, you are looking at a limited edition Yah Scriptures. And it's limited edition because there's a lot of things about Yah Scriptures a lot of people don't know. And we had to borrow money to actually do this. We took this on a leap of faith that we would be able to take this and make this and bring this to light, and it's actually working, which is why it is a limited edition. There were 2,000 scriptures that we got originally when we got this. We're down quite a bit. They will definitely be going fast. So if you want this scriptures, it's 3,153 pages. It's about $90. Shipping, it's a 7-pound book. It's whatever shipping 7 pounds is. We don't make any money on the shipping. And it is one of these things that has the front cover is the color of our creators. This is one of his favorite colors when he was designing the temple and designing all this stuff. He was always going to these blues. And then you also have the bookmarks, which are colors of the temple. Now, what you'll find in Yah Scriptures is a restored name scriptures. So it has all the pagan names removed. It has the name of our creator. It has the name of his son. And it also has the restored names of all our forefathers and foremothers that have been restored. And in it, you have more than just the regular 66, because we have what they call the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha means hidden. And what they did is the powers that be, you have the Catholic Church regulations, you have the Protestants, you have a whole bunch of different people throughout the years that have ripped out all of these books, and they decided they weren't good enough for scriptures, when in fact they very much support all of scriptures, and they should be in scriptures. And so, guys, if you would like to get Yah Scriptures, it is available right here, YahScriptures.com. Just put a .com at the end of that, and there's a description also, their link in the description below. And this takes us into our life and times of Yisrael. This is where we have been studying for quite a while. For those who have been part of this little series that we have, we are in Isaiah 9 today, right, guys? 8 or 9? 9. Okay, and so what you see on the left, guys, is you see the kings of Yisrael, and you see basically all the ones right here were the original tribes of all the tribes were together under one king. This was the only times in history that all 12 tribes were together. And during the time of Solomon was a cultist. He was one of these guys that played around with the dark arts. He captured jinn. He did all sorts of stuff. In fact, he built his temple, the Temple of Yah, was built literally by demons that he had captured, according to the Testament of Solomon, which I truly believe there's a lot of legitimacy to that. And so, as Solomon was just a horrible father, a absolutely horrible king, an absolutely horrible person, horrible husband, he also was a horrible leader, and he got all of these tribes split. And in fact, they got taken to his servants at that point, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. And so what you have on the left-hand side is you have the tribes of the southern tribe of Judah, which is Yahudah. There's no J's in Hebrew. And you also, on the right-hand side, you had the tribe of Yisrael, which comprised of 10 tribes of the northern tribes of Yisrael. And so the important times that we're looking at right here is 722 and then 586, because both of these times are the times that they went into captivity. Now, we've already been reading through scriptures, and these guys, the guys on the right, are long gone. The Assyrians have come and taken them away. They are all into the land of Syria. And we are when we finished up the rest of this we will be. These guys, in fact, they've already been taken into captivity. The 586 BC guys, both of these guys are already gone. And what we're dealing with right now is we're kind of going back in time because the book of Isaiah is not exactly in chronological order compared to what we've been reading, because he's sitting there prophesying through the books like 2 Kings, 2 Chronicles, things of this nature as well. And so let us take a look. Jade, will you give us a laydown of exactly anything that you can remember from the last chapters on this, or anything that may be interesting?
Last chapter talking about some guy in YESHAYAHU, and he was taking pen, writing stuff, and we're learning that they were getting kicked out because they didn't keep the law because they were evil, so they're all getting punished, and they're going into thick darkness.
Mm-hmm. And who is... it doesn't matter who is. Let's just go for it. Isaiah 9:1. But there is no gloom upon her who is distressed, as at first he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward more heavily oppressed her by the way of the sea, beyond the Ardean, in Galilee of the nations. The people who are walking in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those who dwell in the land of the shadow of death, a light has shone. You shall increase the nation. You shall make its joy great. They shall rejoice before you as in the joy of the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you shall break the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every boot of one trampling in tumult, and coat rolled in blood shall be used for burning and fuel for fire. For a child shall be born unto us, a ben shall be given unto us, and the rule is on his shoulder, and his name is called Wonder, Counselor, Strong El, Father of Continuity, Prince of Peace. Now, in the King James Version, this is an interesting that we're actually reading this today, because this is a piece that I was talking to a sister named Donna, who was bringing this up, because this is, when you read this in the King, when it says Strong El, and it puts in God. So Jade, go into the King real quick and read Isaiah 9 if you have that. And this is one of these conundrums where people will have a tremendously hard time because they don't read all of Scriptures. And so when you don't read all of Scriptures and you hear things that are outside, then we get programmed into what they call dogmas, right? It's like things that other people believe that aren't necessarily even true, but they're believed nonetheless. Jay, do you have that?
Yeah, verse 6.
Verse 6, yeah, 9:6.
It says, For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Okay, so as you can see right here, this is where these translations are, they get it really, really, really wrong. Now, this is Yah Scriptures. Yah Scriptures does have this right because this is correct. There are a lot of Elohim, right? When we're talking the word Elohim, where they translated, the other translators translated that into God, they basically say he's God. He is the Father. And the Father is not born. This is not talking about the Father being born. This is the Son. This is Yahushua, Jesus Christ. And I want to read this again because I think this is very important, getting it out of the right translation correctly. For a child shall be born unto us, a son, a ben shall be given unto us, and the rule is on his shoulder. And his name is called Wonder, Counselor, Strong El, Father of Continuity, and Prince of Peace. Now, none of this said he was our Elohim Most High. And so this is, again, this is trying to break the Trinity spell casting that a lot of us are still under. All right, 7. Of the increase of his rule and peace there is no end. Upon the throne of David and over his reign to establish it and sustain it with right ruling and with righteousness from now on, ever, even forever. The ardor of Yahuwah of hosts does this. And so a lot of this in Isaiah, a lot of this sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't know exactly what it's talking about. But this chapter seems to be, at least this part is talking about Messiah. And this is talking about the coming of Messiah, which is still, it's about 800 years before this happens. So this is a prophecy of 800 years before this happens. Okay, 8. Yahuwah sent a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Yisrael. And the people shall know, all of them, Ephraim and the inhabitant of Shomeron, who say in pride and greatness of heart, the bricks have fallen down, but we rebuild with hewn stones. The sycamores are cut down, but we replace them with cedars. Okay, so who's this? What are we talking about right here? And he says in 8, he sent a word against Jacob, and it's also of Ephraim, right?
Yeah,
who are we talking about? Which tribes?
We're talking about the northern 10, the ones that never came back. This is the ones that are separated and that got ran by Ephraim, and they kept sinning. The kings kept going around. And the kings.
Yes, and for anybody that doesn't know, more than likely, according to Bible prophecy, if you guys are out there on the four corners of these lands and you're seeking our Creator and are coming back, very well, you guys could be all part of this dispersion, this northern tribes, the guys that never came back, because in Bible prophecy, they will. Okay, so here we are. Where are we at, fellas? Anyway, 11?
Number 11. Yeah, 11.
Okay. And Yahuwah raised the adversaries of Retzin against him and stirred up his enemies, the Armenians, before and the Pelishites behind, and they devour Yisrael with an open mouth. With all his displeasure has not turned. With all this, his displeasure has not turned back, and his hand is still stretched out. And the people have not turned back to him who smites them, nor have they sought Yahuwah of hosts. So, guys, what we're talking about is we're talking a lot of times that our Creator has been a disciplinarian to us and to these guys. This is this was not a quick thing. Like this, Isaiah was just one prophet of many, many prophets. There were a lot of people that were out there trying to turn these guys around, and the people would not turn around. The leaders would not turn around, and this is what judgment sounds like. 14. And Yahuwah cuts off head and tail from Yisrael, palm, branch, and reed in one day. Elder and highly respected, he is the head. The Nabai who teaches falsehood, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people lead astray, and those who are guided by them are swallowed up. Therefore Yahuwah does not rejoice over their young men, and has no compassion on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is defiled and evil, and every mouth speaks foolishness. With all his displeasure has not turned back, and his hand is still stretched out. All right, let's talk about what this looks like in today's world, right? Is the world defiled right now? Do we live in a defiled world?
Absolutely.
Does every mouth speak foolishness?
Most of them, yeah.
I mean, do you hear people screaming about the Torah? I mean, there's nothing on TV about Torah. There's nothing, like you can't, this is how evil and criminal the prison system is. They have this satanic group of people called the Pando. It's called Pando app, and that is what all the prisoners get on their tablets. But it's all straight up Christian garbage, just straight up mumbo jumbo garbage. So it's like as Satan already has all these guys, especially the guys in death row. He's already got most of them, and then they just finish them off with these fake faith-based religious crap that holds no weight when it comes to anything. And so it's the same thing. The world is this. And the answer to all of this for all of us is to turn back to the Torah, turn back to his ways. Wrap yourself, immerse yourself, bring yourself to the Torah so that you understand what life is all about. If you don't know what the Torah is, you don't know what life is about at all. 18. For wickedness burns as the fire. It consumes thorn bushes and weeds and lights the bushes of the forest ablaze, and they roll up like rising smoke. The land shall be burned up by the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts, and the people be as fuel for the fire. A man shall not spare his brother, and cut down on the right hand, but shall be hungry. And he devours on the left hand, but shall not be satisfied. Each one devouring the flesh of his own arm. Sounds like a bad way to go, right?
Yeah.
Would you want judgment like this, right? It sounds like that you'll never be content, you'll never be full, and you'll just be killing off each other. Okay, Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim. Manasseh. That's weird. How's that together? Does that have that in the regular scriptures? 21. Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh. Together they are against Yahudah. With all this, his displeasure has not turned back, and his hand is still stretched out. Now, we are different teachers than the rest of the teachers because we actually wrote these scriptures, and so when sometimes we stop and we compare them on different versions, we just have to make sure that there's not anything that's messed up, which it's not, but it did sound weird, right? Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh.
Yeah, maybe it's just
okay. So
get everyone.
He's going Dr. Seuss on this one, but we'll get it. All right, so I think that's it. What is the bottom line? What do we need to do as youth? You guys are youth. I don't know if we have so many youth people out there. I know like one youth we have, but I don't know how many. I don't think there's a lot of youth out there that listen to this. What's your advice to anybody out there? Maybe not youth. What's your advice to just the general public? Anyway,
Follow the Torah, obey the laws,
which one?
every one of them.
Why?
Because if not, you end up like this.
Yeah, you end up like this. And it's not a good place to be. All right, with that, guys, we hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for being part of this family. Much love to you all. We're out.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.